Welcome to a very special week, week 22, opening channels for truth. So we have come to a point where we have first we identified our higher self, then we established the connection to talk, communicate, to identify the channel in week 4, first part. Then we did a lot of release, accepting ourselves, others, forgiveness. And then we became a creator, learning from our higher self, connecting to the all-knowing intelligence to receive messages. So gradually we have been growing, making this connection strong. And this is the week where we are going to become a channel of truth. So we have all heard about channeling, right? And if you see English book, you will find that the author has written the book in the very same way, where the punctuation, comma, even the first big letter, capital letter, they are just written as it is. It was not corrected. It was just heard and written. So this is the week we are going to learn about that practice. Before we start the chapter, let us be quiet for a moment to get here, to be here, totally present. Just close your eyes for a minute. We all heard the audiobook, and somewhat we know about it. So to get the chapter, absorb the chapter, just be here present with in-breath and out-breath. Bring yourself in this moment. Leaving everything beside. Setting an intention to be here, to listen, to learn what Babaji is saying in this week, a grand week, where our heart and head are going to be one. So let us connect with Babaji to receive his light, receive his love through this chapter, opening channels for truth. Let us be open to receive, learn, and just grow. Take a long breath in and out. Find that space within. Let us drop all our perception to hear the chapter from beginning. Let us open our eyes and welcome back. So who would like to read the chapter today? You can raise your hand and I welcome Shailesh to take over from here.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome everyone who's going to be reading.
Shailaji.
Right, perfect. Okay.
We have wedding today, so everybody's well dressed up. Welcome.
Okay.
Welcome in this royal wedding.
Can you all see my screen now?
Yes, it's good.
Yes. Good.
Shailaji,
yes, I can see the screen.
Perfect. Good. So to begin this chapter, I just want to bring your awareness to the title of this chapter, Opening Channels for Truth. Pay attention that the word channel is plural. So it's more than one. Right? There are multiple channels for truth. So understanding the word channel is also important. A channel is a dedicated passage providing a directed flow, right? It's a clear passage providing a directed flow. And in terms of channeling, as we talk here in the spiritual realm, channeling is a pipeline. You can think of it like a pipeline of messages. Right? It's a pipeline where messages are flowing, and we have become aware of that now. We have been able to distinguish between mental chatter and the messages coming from the higher self. We practiced it. So today we are now going to open the channels, multiple channels now. We know one method already that we have been using, but now we are going to learn there are more possibilities. There is more ways in which this channel can be utilized, right? So some of these have been described here. This is not comprehensive. There are over since humanity, these things have been practiced by people, not documented the way we are doing today, but there have been so many practices people have been using to communicate with their all-knowing intelligence and bring the knowledge down here for humanity, right? This book is an example of that as well. This has been channeled. So channeling is a well-known, well-established process, and today we are going to learn about possibilities that we have. You have already started doing that channeling, right? Through the practices that we have in the book. So just be aware of this point here, why we are talking about channels, right? Okay, so please start reading now.
A 22nd week, opening channels for truth. Sometimes it might appear to you that your mind still resists this knowledge. Of course, that isn't accurate, but it is as if there were two or more parts of you, each with independent idea and drives. Your head is one such part.
Right.
For
So now,
ages,
yeah, just we'll pause at every paragraph, Shailaji. Okay.
okay,
So in this first paragraph, he is giving us the background, preparing us now. So what is being said here is that sometimes we, all of you must have experienced that sometimes your mind will still resist this knowledge. This knowledge means the one that we are receiving through this book. Mind may resist this knowledge sometimes, and it, when you see resistance, it feels like you want to do something, and there is something else within you that is saying no to it, right? So it seems like we are split into multiple existences, right? But that's not really accurate. And it is the two parts of us or multiple parts of us which give us different directions. They have independent thinking, right? Those parts of us, we have now become aware that we have something called a mind and a heart, right? These two we know. These two have their own independent existences, independent operations, independent way of thinking and communicating. So they are two independent. It feels like they are two independent entities, and this is what we are going to be focused on in this chapter now. Before we started reading the book or learning from this book, we were aware of one aspect of us called mind. We were always in the mind. Through this book, we have become aware of another aspect of us, which we are calling heart, right? So we have become aware of that, and we have been learning through this book. We have been learning more and more about what we call as heart. We in chapter 11 we enlivened the heart, right? We strengthened our heart. We gave more emphasis to the heart gradually over various chapters till now. So now we have a good understanding of what heart is and what mind is, and we still have that two different opinions on things, right? Mind sometimes will be rejecting what we are learning here. So now from here on, he's using the word head. He's not using mind anymore. He says your head is one such part, right? So uh, pay attention to some of these shifts in the vocabulary that he's using here. he is now beginning to call head, because now he is talking about our physical being, our physical aspect. All right. Yeah. So,
For ages, your head has been in charge. You have been educated to use your head, learning its logic and training its neurons is given top billing in this world. The head is a king. Jobs that require head trained skills pay more. The the intelligence are an elite. They even live in their own ghettos.
right. So, what he's saying, our current state in the society is that we give lot of emphasis to the head, right? We are educated in that fashion. Our education system entirely is on developing your intelligence, right? Developing the head, learning the logic, and training the head to to become more active, right? To learn and utilize the abilities of the mind, right? He is not using the word mind; he is using the word head, brain, right? Mostly, this is all about brain. So, what he's saying is that in our society also, right? The learning a logic, being logical, is given much more emphasis, right? It's that he say calling it top billing. What we call them intellectual people, right? The head is the king. Even the jobs, which we call as white collar jobs, they pay more, right? Those are the jobs where head is valued, right? We get the more you have in your head, the more you are paid in your job, right? We call them skilled jobs. So the intelligentsia are an elite, right? They are considered um, sort of classy, special people in society, right? They even live in their own ghettos. So they are so much so separated from the rest that we are different, kind of. They live also in separate colonies or separate places, segregated from the rest, right? So that's how much emphasis is given to the head in our society. Okay, right. Yeah.
Suddenly, your head is told to take a back seat, as if that were not had enough. You then give power to your heart. To your head, the heart is merely an emotional marshmallow. It doesn't have any logic, any systematic way to memorize, any habits, and any conditioning. Yet you want to put that underling in charge.
Right. So through this course, what we have started doing, we have started asking the head to sit on the back seat. That's what we are doing, right? We are constantly talking about the heart space, right? Be heart centered. Constantly, what are we actually doing? We are putting the head in the back seat. And as if this wasn't bad enough, we are also empowering the heart. We are giving it more power, right? Not only priority, but also the power. So, uh, uh, but the head is feeling that heart has no logic at all. It is not systematic. It doesn't have memory. It cannot form habits. Then, I mean, it can't be conditioned. Still, we are giving that thing more emphasis now, more priority now, right? So it's almost like making the subordinate a boss. That sort of a scenario the head is feeling now. So head is not able to accept this change, this shift, which we are experiencing now. Okay.
An internal struggle appears to ensure for a while you do just fine, following these lessons exactly. You let your heart guide from its connection to cosmic intelligence. Then suddenly your head, with its training, logic, and conditioning, struggles for its life. What are its main weapons? Doubts.
right? So we are experiencing this now, right? An internal struggle within, and you will be able to relate to this. For a while you would be fine, yeah, this is such a nice course, I am in the heart space, and then suddenly your head is going to jump in and start its own logic. No, this is not good. How can you be like this, right? We are losing so much time, we have got to do this, we haven't done all this, what are you doing, right? So head will jump in, it will give you logic, it is trained for logic, isn't it? It is trained forever for logic, so it will logically try to convince you. And it is very easy for us to slip, right? And what are its main weapons? Its main weapon is doubts. It will create doubts in the mind, right? Those doubts can shake you. So the head would still try to regain its supremacy. That's what he is basically telling here. Yeah.
You go through a period of doubting. You doubt your signals. You doubt the communication in your quiet periods. You doubt the wisdom even of this course. You doubt your manifesting nature. This is the only way the head thinks it can regain supremacy. It actively argues. It interjects its own thoughts loudly and clearly. You can't help but hear, these are the thoughts you are used to. They have yelled at you for ages. They are precisely the reason you aren't experiencing God's qualities all the time.
Right. So now he is basically talking what the head is going. He keeps doing. So in the previous paragraph, you know how head considers heart to be, right? For head, heart is just like a candy, soft marshmallow, right? It is kind of, for the heart it is useless. For the head, heart is useless in a way, right? And I can confirm this to you. I was exactly like that. As an engineer, I am a logical person, and I'm so much used to using the head all the time, constantly in the head, right? And when somebody would be showing emotions and things like that, I was just not able to relate to it at all. In fact, in one of the management courses, I was given a very low score on emotional intelligence. This is the extreme to which the head can go. Today I realize, today I understand. But during my career, most of my life, this is where I was, in the head space, and like heart was just a soft marshmallow. These people are useless. They can't do anything. That's the kind of thought I used to have. This person cannot do anything because they don't have logic. Logic is the only thing. That's how we are groomed. Our education system brings us to that. At least in my times, I don't know how it is today, but so how the head is working with us, it will constantly keep producing doubts. What are you doing? Why are you sitting in this quiet period? By sitting like this, what are you achieving? All kinds of arguments and doubts it will create, right? It will doubt the wisdom that you are receiving through the quiet periods. It will say, well, this is not right, right? And it will say that you don't manifest anything, you don't create anything. These are the kind of doubts the head is going to create, right? It wants to regain its supremacy, and it will actively continue to argue. It will interject into your practices. When you are practicing the um, unified practices, heart is going to interject all the time. uh, and some of you must already be experiencing this, but what you can do, you can't help it. That thing is, the head is trained to behave that way. It has always been in charge. It is trained to behave that way. You can think of it like a spoilt brat. That's what it is, right? It behaves like a spoiled child, right? Constantly it has learned to yell at you, and it will continue to yell, right? And now what he says is, um, these are the thoughts that you are used to, and they have yelled at you for ages. These thoughts have yelled at you, right? And they are precisely the reason that we are not experiencing God's qualities. These thoughts are the reason that we are not experiencing God's qualities. So these are now statement of facts that he is making from our experience so far. Okay.
It's not the heart's nature to argue back. It doesn't need to. It knows that the little head can never win in the long run. The heart knows its divine nature, its immortality, and its connection to the cosmos. Nothing the head yells can begin to penetrate its hard shell. Nothing. So the heart just remains peaceful, gentle, and all knowing.
Right. So now we are learning how the heart behaves. What does heart do? Heart is just like um, eh, think of a very able-bodied person, very powerful person, and a kid goes and constantly trying to poke that guy. What will be the behavior of that person? Will be sitting quiet and watching and enjoying the play of the child, right? Oh, this child is playing with me. Is not going to show power to the child, right? This is how the heart is. Heart knows its own power. Heart knows its divine nature. It also knows its immortal nature. It's immortal, and it is connected to the cosmos. That also the heart knows. And uh, nothing that this yelling of the thoughts can do to it, right? Heart knows about it. So it just remains peaceful, gentle, and all knowing. It knows it all. It remains peaceful and gentle. That is the nature of the heart. That is precisely the reason why we feel so good with the heart, because its nature is peaceful, right? It is gentle and it's peaceful. So that's why we feel so good with the when we are in our heart space. Okay.
Does this sound familiar? It probably does. If the head has had its way, you no doubt have started and stopped this course several times before getting to this point. Maybe you have had to take 2 weeks to get through some of the lessons. Or maybe you are one of the lucky ones and just ignored the babbling child screaming for attention.
We have gone through that, right? So the head, some of us must have experienced that in between we have had to take a pause from the course because the head got its way, right? It convinced us, well, no, I'm not going to be doing this. And then we have returned back. Or sometimes we have taken longer period to complete one chapter because constant interference from the head was there. It would not let us practice it. So we are taking longer in completing. And for some of us, we have been able to overcome the yelling of the head and continued with the chapter. So both these things are going to be there for both types of experiences would exist within our group. Whenever I listen to this aspect, when I read this chapter, I always remember the elephant walking in a street in a town. When an elephant is walking on the street, and in the south I have seen several times, I'm not sure about in the north once in a while probably, but in the south the temples have their elephants and so on. So they come out in the social setup, right? They bring the elephant and they go from house to house like that. In the elephant is walking on the street, and at that time the dogs are continuously barking at the elephant, right? Elephant doesn't do anything. It just simply ignores them and constantly enjoying the sugar cane or whatever it's being fed, and constantly keeps walking in its own happiness, right? So that's how the heart is. Heart is just like that elephant, and the mind and the thoughts will keep yelling at it like the dogs. This is what I am reminded of always when I read this part of the book. Yeah. Okay.
This week, witness that head yelling for attention and know it for what it is. Witness, but doesn't buy into it. Eventually, the head will discover its own true blessing. It is neither being abandoned to oblivion nor being relegated to a second class position. Instead, you are buying it a new computer hardware with an open account on software. With that, anything the head wants to know, it can have. It won't have restricted to what it could cram into its education or remember from your few experiences. Then, whenever you ask for your head's help, it gives with a total accuracy. Its success is guaranteed. The heart becomes its best friend, nay, its inseparable spouse. Actually, it's a royal internal wedding, like the helium atom. It cannot really exist alone. The helium atom is unstable by itself. So, two atoms combine. It's found in nature as H2. Head and heart equal H2 as well.
Right. So in this paragraph, that the little chemistry technicalities, probably it may not be accurate, but just ignore that aspect of it. Just see what he's trying to tell us, right? He's trying to put two H's together and making it H2. He's talking about making them stable. Together, they are stable. By themselves, they are unstable, is what he's trying to explain there. So, in this week, what are we going to do? We are going to witness but not buy into the yelling of the mind. We are going to deliberately now witness. Witness what the mind is doing. What is it chattering about? So far, what we were doing, we were ignoring, right? But this, at this point, what we have to do through this week, now witness. Consciously sit and witness and see what the mind is telling you. Eventually, the head will discover its own true blessing. So when we pay attention to the thoughts, the mind or the head feels comfortable, just like the child. When the child is constantly crying for your attention, you pay attention and the child is satisfied, right? It only needs attention. That part of it we have to be aware. We remember that. So what that is the exercise we will do with the mind, or with the thoughts, this week. It is neither. So what we are now going to ensure, by paying attention, what are we telling the head? That it's not being abandoned or sent to oblivion, right? Nor being relegated to a second grade position. We are not undermining the head. This is the message we are trying to give through this active engagement. Not really engagement, active attention, awareness, right? Instead, you are buying it a new computer hardware. Now, what we are going to do to the mind, we are going to give a new computer hardware. What is that? The heart. We are giving it the heart, right? Now, with the heart, it won't be restricted. It won't be restricted to what it can cram into its education or remember from few experiences. What the head has done, it has crammed all our experiences, whatever learning it could do, whatever it could gather, and crammed into a small place, right? Now we are giving it a new computer hardware which is limitless, where it can ask for for help, where it can access anything it wants, right? Now it has unlimited software, right? New computer hardware with an open account of software. It has now unlimited software. It can figure out or find whatever it wants through this new computer. So then when you give this head a new computer, a new hardware, a new software, whatever, and the total freedom to access whatever it wants, with that what it can do, then whenever you ask for your head's help, it gives you total accuracy. Now with this empowerment you are going to do to the head, this empowerment through its association with the heart, use of the heart, unlimited access to the heart, then what it will do, it will become your powerful help. It will be able to give you total accuracy on results. So its success is guaranteed. The heart becomes its best friend, right? Not just best friend, its inseparable spouse, right? He's saying they then become inseparable. When they come together, they become inseparable, right? And actually it is a royal internal wedding. That's why you got that wedding card. You have all come prepared for a wedding. This is that wedding we have been talking about, right? So in this week, what are we doing? Earlier we already knew about the head. We learned about the heart, a new companion for the head, and now we are bringing them together. That's the important part we are doing here. So they are not to be ignored or anything. They are to be used together. Why? Because when they come together, they become stable. The two H's. He's trying to bring the head and heart, the two H, together as a stable H2. Chemically, this may not be the right thing. The symbol, don't think of this as a symbol for helium. And probably some of you who are scientists would be able to correct this, but this is how the author is, the author is trying to explain to us is that when they are separate, they are unstable. When they are together, they become stable. That's what is important to learn here. Okay. Yeah.
So far, this course has emphasized your quiet period with your higher self signal as the form of communication with your higher self. You tune in on the thoughts you know are coming from yourself. These quiet periods, however, are not the only way for self can be in touch with you. They may not even be the best way for you. They are, however, the foundation and the backbone.
Right. So basically, so far what we have learned to communicate with our higher self using the signal. That is one of the ways in which we have learned. And that way is the foundation and backbone of our communication with the higher self. But what he's saying is that, and the method that we are using now is the tuning in on our thoughts that are coming from the self, right? Oh my God. What happened? Oh. Where did it go? Let me make it big. Where is, yeah, here. Right. So what we have learned so far is we tune into our thoughts and segregate through the stream of thoughts, separate out the mental chatter and the messages from the higher self, right? Chapter 4 we learned to do that. But that's not the only way. So in the quiet periods, communication is not the only way in which we can do this communication, is what he is now trying to tell us. And in some cases, this may not even be the best way to do the communication for some of us, because each one of us has a different way. So for some of us, there may be other ways which may be even better. And we will be talking about several of those here, not comprehensively everything, but some of them he is going to be presenting as examples for us here. But remember that this primary thing, establishing a signal with the higher self, and other practices associated with that, which he will talk about later on, like clearing the aura and connecting, etc. All that thing is an important part, which we will integrate into all other practices if you want to follow any other practice, which we will look at here, right? So, yeah.
If ever you feel that there may be another good way to communicate with your higher self, don't be afraid of it. Just be sure to use the same safeguards. Always get your higher self signal. It's always there when you are really communicating with your higher self. Always close your aura to all but your higher self and clear your aura of uninvited influences whenever needed. Before you try another form of communication, ask your higher self in the conventional way if it is in your highest and wisest interest to communicate in that other way. Use your yes and no signals and don't ignore a no answer.
Right. So basically what he's saying is, uh, the certain practices of protection and cleaning the aura, etc., those safeguards are important. We should continue to use them even if we are trying to use another way. And don't be afraid of trying out other methods. Maybe that method may be more suitable to for your communications. So don't be afraid to try them out. Always make sure that we clear the uninvited influences and we have the higher self signal present throughout the communication, whichever method we use. And before you start trying out other methods, ask your higher self, is it in my interest? So that process we still don't ignore, right? Ask the higher self in the conventional way if it is in your highest and wisest interest to communicate in that other way, right? And if the answer is no, then don't ignore it. If the answer is yes, try it out, right? Okay, so what we are doing here, this over time, since we learned about yes and no signals, we have learned to work with the heart as the boss, right? Just like in your childhood, you would always ask your mom, can I do this? Can I get this? Can I go out to play? Right? That was, you were basically asking your mom for permission, right? Same thing we are doing here also. Now, what we have been doing, we have been asking the permission from higher self. In a way, it is permission from the heart, the all-knowing intelligence. This is how we have been promoting the heart, right? We are training the mind to accept instruction from outside. That is the primary thing is happening. So always checking if it's in my highest interest is the process of seeking permission from outside. From outside, in the mind can always, it is being trained to not act as a boss, to still work in coordination with an external. For the mind, heart is external, right? So that practice is what we should always implement. Don't ignore that practice, right? Eh, this is a subtle thing that you will understand how we have educated the mind simultaneously. The more we are learning about the heart, we are also training the mind to work together, right? It's like a team, right? Asking the other team member, is this okay for us to do like that? So working as a team is important. And especially when you are doing the wedding, the two have to be together only. These people cannot work without consulting each other, right? That's the purpose of the wedding, that they have to learn to be together. And in that process, this question answer is a very good technique. Yeah, yeah.
There are
So,
many ways to communicate so. The Ouija board is popular, as are the tarot cards. Even a standard deck of Playing cards can be used to communicate if the meaning of the cards is clearly predetermined. A newly revived method uses runs. The pendulum is also very popular.
Right. So he is just listed out a few things that people have been common. They are commonly used by people. Ouija board is a very common thing, and then tarot cards are again common. Many people use. They are popular. Even a standard deck of playing cards can be used if you assign the meanings to each card. Right, what does, when this card is selected, what will it communicate? Right, so you associate a meaning to each card, and if you have previously associated that, then you can use even that deck of card. And in the olden times, in Germany, there used to be a technique called runes. They used to use that technique, and that in recent times, that technique is also becoming more commonly popular amongst people. And pendulum is another very popular technique which many people use for communicating with the invisible, the unknown, right? These are all techniques of communicating with what we consider as unknown, the and here we call it higher self, right? So the there's one thing which they haven't mentioned here. It's called L rods. They hold it in two hands, L-shaped rods. They hold in the two hands. This is the oldest technique for finding water underground. From the olden times, long back till date, this technique is used because it's very accurate. And in the olden times, they didn't have rods. They used to use tree branches, L-shaped. So they would trees usually will have a fork like that. They just break one branch and then hold it like that. So you will have a bent branch, and that they will hold in the hand and walk on the ground. Whenever the branches turn and come together, that's the spot where they will dig the well, and they always would find water. 99% accuracy they get from that, right? So this is another technique to communicate with the higher self. Has total knowing, right? Knows what's going on inside the earth also. We can't see it. So this is a practically utilized technique and very successfully used technique from people. So that's one more thing that is used for communication. So now he's going to present a specific example of which people have used unknowingly. They have been using it. What just like a play, people have been using it for entertainment, but this is a proper valid technique. Okay, yeah.
A light table can be used. Two people put their hands lightly on the table, facing each other. They close their auras to any uninvited influences, state their high spiritual purpose, and unify with God. Then they ask that the higher self or one of them communicate by raising the table. Two of the four legs will rise towards one of them when both are perfectly unified with God and each other. It may take a few minutes of quiet submission. From then on, the procedure is the same as with your quiet times. Three taps of the table means yes. It also means that what you say aloud is correct communication from the higher self. One tap is no. Both of you can communicate with the same higher self since you are, after all, one.
Right. So this is a detailed description of one technique where two people, you use a small light table, which is not heavy. Take a light table and sit across the table in front of facing each other. Put your hands lightly on the table, and then go into quiet period together. Right. Now it's a group of three, two people and a table. These three are now going to be part of one clean aura. So you have to, what you have to do is, um, they close their auras of any uninvited influence, state their higher spiritual purpose, and unify with God. These 3 steps, right? Then they ask higher self for one of them, communicate by raising the table. So let's say if you and I are sitting, so I can ask your higher self to communicate, right? You can ask my higher self, or I can ask your higher self. Only one of us can ask one higher self to communicate, right? Then what happens? Then they ask the higher self for one of them to communicate by raising the table. So what happens is the 2 legs of the table will go up and fall, like so. It's called a tap. Each time it does that, it's a tap. So that is the answering mechanism. So if the table taps 3 times, that is considered a yes, and if it taps once, it is a no. So when you ask the question from the higher self, the answer will come through these taps, right? So, and this actually happens, right? And it people do it with different things. Sometimes the Ouija board is one similar thing that they do. Some people do it with an inverted tumbler, the glass water tumbler, right? So you can put it on the table like that, and then put your finger and do the same procedure. So the procedure is same, right? That we do with our higher self. You can ask the same way the question, the way you ask, and the answer will come through taps. This is one of the methods that is given here. This method, probably each method has its own pros and cons. So be aware of that. When you do it, you will understand, right? That some of these things cannot be done on the go, right? Some of the methods are such that you can actually, while let's say you are traveling, in the process you can still use some of the mechanisms. Some of them are so, like your own communication with higher self that you have been doing so far, it's a versatile one, right? You can do it anyway. But all these other mechanisms, if they are more suitable for you, then be aware that you may have some constraints while using them. Okay.
When the table first rises, ask, is the table clear of any uninvited influences? Heal any influences until you get a yes answer to that question. Then ask the higher self to identify itself by tapping the letters of its name one at a time. Throughout the communication, be on guard for any uninvited influences and heal them as needed.
Right. So these are a few initial steps he's mentioning, that we have to not forget that the aura of the table also needs to be checked. If the table's aura is clean or not. If it's not, then clean the aura, right? And ask the higher self to identify itself also by tapping letters of its names on one at a time. This is a little tedious thing, right? If your higher self has a long name like Vishakhapatnam, then you will be sitting there for a long time, right? Spelling each character. So just be aware that these are some of the constraints you may see in this process. Yeah. Okay.
If you have a loved one who has taken this course diligently to this point, the two of you can practice your communication using a light table. You must believe, indeed know, that the table will rise, or this form of communication will not work. If your head throws in doubts, you may have to wait until your head and heart are more integrated.
Yeah, so these are some of the things he has described as to what can go wrong, right? Why it may not work for you. Some of these reasons are given here, that if you have doubts, you are not unified, then also this form of communication may not work, right? You may have to practice several times, and then once you are aligned, then this communication, it does work, that is for sure, because I have seen it work. And some of you already may have in your younger days, you may have seen someone else doing it, because when you are young, you are very interested in doing all kinds of non-conventional things. So in we used to do these things in our summer vacation, when all the cousins will come together in one relative's place. All these kind of things were done there. So, but be aware, your head can throw doubts, and those doubts will not let this process work. So wait until your head and heart are, this is the key, head and heart are integrated. Once they are more integrated, that's why we talked about the marriage, right? The royal wedding. That is what the integration of head and heart is critical, crucial for this channel to function, the channel to become clear. There is no one obstructing. When head and heart are aligned, the channel becomes totally clear. So that's what this is all about. Yeah.
The main exercise for this week is yet another form of communication, writing. Every day this week, enter the quiet period as usual. Then, instead of speaking out the communication, write it down. This isn't flashy. It isn't automatic in the sense that you lose control of what the pen does. You are simply writing out the communication you have been speaking out or thinking. Notice how smooth and effortless it is. Don't judge what you're writing. Just write. Read it later for meaning. This is the way many great manuscripts have been born. It is the way many great scientific breakthroughs have come. Use this method often now. It gives you a record for posterity. How many times have you been surprisingly impressed with what you have said during your communication, only to forget it? Using this writing method, you have a record.
Correct. So this is the last paragraph, and one more technique given here. So this is about, it is popularly called auto writing. So just because we are, the previous example was that table tapping by itself. He is mentioning here this auto writing doesn't mean that your pen will start moving by itself. That's not how this is, right? So pen will still be in your control when you sit down. So follow the entire procedure as you do in your quiet period, right? First of all, become quiet, go to your heart space, connect with your higher self, get the signal, clean the aura, close the aura, all that, right? All the entire process, and then you sit down to write, right? Then ask the question and write whatever thoughts come. Start writing, right? Instead of speaking out the communication, write it down. This isn't flashy, and it's not automatic in the sense that you lose control, right? It's not like the tapping of the table. This is actual deliberate writing, but writing what is coming in the thought, right? You are simply writing out the communication you have been speaking out. Like you used to confirm, right? Have I got this right? And you would speak it out. So notice how smooth and effortless it is. You will find this process of writing is very smooth and effortless. You are not actually putting any effort. The effort of moving the pen on paper comes from your subconscious. And basically subconscious uses your muscular system to do that writing part. Writing is an automated pattern of your subconscious. We have trained it from the childhood. So subconscious is trained to write. That means whenever you sit down to write, you are actually not consciously moving the pen the way you want it to move. You just simply start, pick the pen, and you are able to write the words you have in your thought, right? Just like you drive automatically nowadays, right? Same way you write automatically. This is what he is talking about. So when you start writing on, as a grown-up, you would definitely be writing automatically, and that automatic writing is coming from the subconscious. We just have to make sure that the thought is put in on paper the way it came, exactly the way it came, right? So use this method often now. try to practice it more as much as possible. It will give you a record for posterity. That means you will have a record later on. You won't have a doubt. Oh well, I think this is what I got from my higher self, and in some cases this may not even be right. So when you write it down, there is no confusion. It's a record, and using this method, several manuscripts have been born. This method is again a very old established practice. So many manuscripts have been created, so many scientific breakthroughs have come through this method only. So this is a very valid, very powerful mechanism of bringing out the messages from within, right? So, and then using this writing method, you have a record. So that's the end of this chapter. Thank you so much. Thank you, Shailaji, for reading this for all of us. And I also want to thank Anna ji for having done the audiobook so beautifully. We listened to that chapter recording prior to this session. So thank you, Anna, for that. I'll stop this sharing here. Yeah. So now, if anyone has questions on the chapter itself, we can talk about it. Yes, Sheelamji, you can ask. Yeah.
Atma Vandan to all.
No.
As I remember, Shaileshi, when you were telling about our childhood, I think, is it plan sheet that they used to do, inviting some unknown souls to come and
Right.
they used to warn and say it is dangerous because you don't know what sort of souls you are inviting, and sometimes they can cause harm to you.
Exactly, correct. And that's why he is talking about all those methods of protection, right? All those safeguards we have learned. When you use the safeguard, you are sure that you are not engaging with an uninvited influence.
I know it was a very thrilling, exciting game in childhood when my cousins used to do, though we never understood how they do it. But minute our elders used to come to know, they would come and say, don't do all these rubbish games and you'll invite trouble for yourselves. So, but for us it was really most exciting because the answers were given to many questions that were asked.
Exactly.
So I just remember that. Thank you so much.
Oh, yes. Yeah. So these are all, what they are mentioning in this particular chapter is that there are alternative ways of communicating with the higher self. Feel the freedom to choose one that is more suitable to you individually. Yes, Asha ji, you can unmute.
Welcome back to the deep dive.
Good morning to everybody. Thank you so much.
Morning.
Wonderful as usual. I just had a question. So I think you kind of answered in your last statement. I don't need to do the table thing. I can just go to the writing thing.
Whatever appeals to you.
Okay.
Right? And follow the in the writing one, you don't even have to ask the higher self that should I practice this, because speaking it out loud or writing are very similar activities. Both of them are governed by your subconscious.
Okay, that's good. Thank you so much.
And writing is a very powerful thing, actually.
Right.
Many books are, this book itself.
Yeah, conversation with God, this Ramnath, all those were written out.
Exactly. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I hope many books will come out in the days to come from this group.
So here we have a perfect example where he mentions about helium, He, which is, and he's like saying H, right? And I said, it's a marriage of heart and head. So head might tell, okay, you have learned this. It should be He, but heart is saying, no. Just take this example where just to present what it is, right? So this is like writing in a flow when we are unified, and then we are not correcting. We are not going back and fixing things. That's the biggest lesson. We'll just write in a flow. Whatever comes in your mind in that state, Just write. Keep practicing, practicing, practicing. Initially, in Hindi group, we saw people writing like affirmations. I am this, I am this. So it kind of a realization that people are receiving. But then finally, once we are settled, ready for truth, and all our quest, I want to know, they start flowing in that moment when we write. So this is the best exercise we will be doing in expanding our own communication, becoming a channel.
Correct. And when you are writing, do not be worried about the language, the grammar, none of that. Just allow whatever is coming. Spellings, because the mind is trained. So the moment you start doing spelling, grammar, all that activity, you are going to snap out of that communication. Because your conscious mind will become active and you will lose the track. Right? So be aware that when you are doing the writing, don't worry about the grammar. Bhaja Govindam. Remember the paragraph, Bhaja Govindam? He's saying to the Pandit ji that your Vyakaran is not going to help you. Bhaja Govindam. Right? That is the message. Basically, that allow your higher self to sing the song through you.
Rupa ji is saying, thank you so much, Shaila ji and Shailesh ji. I realize it's how funny your name is.
Yes.
Wow. It is just like head and heart. Wonderful.
Thank you.
So shall we go into the practice then? Any questions? I would guide in the middle. As of now, what I can just say that, come to that state when we are unified with God qualities and have the signal throughout the writings. Whenever we are writing, just check you have your higher self signal. If you have some kind of pain or you feel uncomfortable, you might notice there's an uninvited influences signal on. Just be aware of that, and in that process itself, you can clear your aura, close your aura. Again, just say that I am made in the image of God and I am love. God is love, so I am love. And then just start flowing from there. We do not have to come out or just leave it as it is, but just continue after clearing your aura. So once we'll practice, sometimes we'll see that I'm not getting any thoughts, but whatever thoughts are coming, maybe just like love is everywhere, very simple words, whatever is coming, just leave it, write it down, and it will start flowing. And in the past sessions also, we have tried to write all our messages we were receiving from our higher self, whether it was about self-acceptance and opening, enlivening the heart, whatever exercise we were doing, we were trying to write the messages we were receiving. So here it's just we'll ask for the truth, ask for a message, and then whatever flows in, we'll just write. And nobody's going to read it. It's our personal thing. So just do not hesitate to express. Yes, Jayaji.
This is during the meditation, during the
Yes.
quiet practice? Okay.
So beautiful. The same higher self we were connecting to, fix our personal issues and then expand to become a creator. And now we are expanding our communication to channel truth. So let us get into the practice. Just be comfortable where you are. Feeling very comfortable with the lesson and with ourselves. It is all fine. We are all perfect. Learning the practices, learning new things. Maybe we never thought about it. Maybe we thought, I can't do it. But expression is our innate nature. So it will be a normal writing, just like we write in our notebook about anything. We will note the message from our higher self. So observe your breath. Take a slow, long, deep breath in and out. Grasping all that we have learned, we have heard for an hour, is guiding us throughout the process. Also recognize that before we might have acted in many pieces, somewhere, somewhat different all the time. Not in union with our own self. When mind is saying something and heart is saying something. And there were no correlation. So we might have chosen to be with our head. As we established our communication with our higher self, we realized our heart has access to all-knowing intelligence. And I can ask anything I would like to know. My higher self is always there to guide me, to answer my questions. This trust is very important. So when we are there, everything is there to support us, to support this life, to make it a wonderful journey. So let us become that. A channel for truth. As we unite our head and heart, the distance from head and heart will be zero. Feel it right away, as if we have merged into that one point at the center of our heart. Guide yourself the way you like, to hear that music, to hear that sound. Of God's love pulsating. In the center of our chest. And we are all connected through this space. Feel that pulsation more. You may want to breathe a few more if you're still looking for it. Breathe it. Breathe through this space from the center of your heart. Feel that love and send it to the entire body, or just feel it more for this pulsation to expand into the whole body, in every cell. And send this love into your aura, affirming to heal all the uninvited influences there might be. To all uninvited influences in my aura, I send love and light. You each are whole and healed. You each are created in love and light, and you are still love and light. No need to be afraid. Do not feel the pain. And I know a perfect place for each one of you to go. And I request my higher self to take you there now. Each one of you go in peace. I set you free and I close my aura to all except my higher self. Feel that love is radiating from the center of our heart to our body, to our energy center, and expanding further in the space. Now send love and light to all the thought forms around you. And to all the objects, all the things. Let us send love and light. And feel that we are in that ocean of love and light. We have become the ocean. Observe the signal from your higher self. My beautiful higher self, please give me your signal now. Just thank for the signal. As needed, take a few deep breaths in and out to feel more comfortable to expand. Let us unify it. Let us unify with God qualities, with our truth. We are made in the image of God. So we have all the qualities of God. The more we realize it, the more we feel it, it becomes our nature. I'm already made in the image of God. God is love. So I am love. Say it within to feel the vibration. God is light. So I am light. God is truth. So I am truth. God is happiness, joy, and bliss. I am happiness, joy, and bliss. Feel it. Repeat until you feel. Say it from heart, wholeheartedly, accepting as we were longing to be non-judgmental, to be love, to be happy, to be free. God is all-knowing intelligence. So I am all-knowing intelligence. Feel this heart and its connection to all that to know. God is abundance. I am abundance. Feel that God created everything and everything belongs to it. And I'm one with Him. So I have everything. Everything is there for my use, for my enjoyment, to fulfill my desire. Do you find trust? God is infinite energies. So I am infinite energy. in expression in this body. God is everywhere present. So I am everywhere present. God is omnipotent, infinite potential, or infinite possibilities. I am that. God is non-judgmental. So I am non-judgmental. My thoughts are aligned with God's thought, as I am a creator in His image. I am a unique expression of love in creation. God is perfection, so I am perfection. I am whole and complete. I am connected with love, with all the things. Everyone, everybody. Feel the state. Feel your heart space, how expanded it is. Filled with love. And mind is knowing, trusting with its logic, as the feeling is the response. Of all these God qualities, of all these thought affirmations. From this space. Let us connect and ask our higher self, my dear higher self, today I wish to open channels for truth. where my head and heart is one. Now please express the truth through me and help me become a clean and clear channel. Now take out your paper and pen and start writing whatever thoughts you might receive. Keep checking your higher self signal. Just sit with paper and pen with your open eyes. Whenever you get your first thought, write it down. If there are no thoughts, just sit and observe your breath and your heart space. You may want to repeat, then repeat. My dear higher self, please express the truth through me. Even if you find it's a mental chatter, you may want to write it down. Do not go back and read, just write flowing. Do not judge what you write, just keep writing. Check with your higher self for yes and no signal. Whatever I have wrote, is it okay? Is it correct? Your yes signal might appear and then disappear. And you might see the higher self signal back. To become a clear channel of truth, it is important that we are receiving and writing without judging, without correcting. As if the channel is open and flowing from one direction. Maybe you are just writing the affirmation. Those are important for you as of now. Just observe if you feel suffocated or any uninvited influence signal present. You may want to heal them. If there are doubts, any resistance or judgment, we will lose our higher self signal. If you feel trust, if you feel calm, peaceful, balanced, that's the best state to be, and just keep writing. We became the master of creation. For that, we learned to be in the present moment. In this present moment, we live life. We receive messages, truth. We realize the truth in present moment. So do not go in past and future. In your memories or worries. If you are done writing, just thank your paper and pen and your higher self. Thank you for guiding me today. To become a channel for truth. Let us thank Babaji for this beautiful chapter. Where we are becoming one and whole as our mind and heart unite. We are ready to bring the truth. For new generation. You might have received unheard wisdom. Just make a note of it so that it is not lost, and keep building on it. Thank you, and lots of love to you, Babaji and Roger. Thank you, all the masters, for guiding us to be here. Let us thank ourselves for making ourselves available throughout these 22 weeks. We were learning, absorbing. At times it was difficult. But we have removed dust. We have just uncovered the hidden jewels within. So whatever we have received, let us be grateful about it. And with this heart, send love and light to entire home and people around, all your loved ones. Just become one with nature, with love. All that take care of us every day. Thank you, Mother Earth, and everything, every creation in the nature, supporting all lives. Let us close our aura once again. I close my aura to all except my higher self. Thank you for joining today, for being here with me, and for giving me this opportunity. Whenever you feel to come out, just wiggle your fingers, your toes. Feel this body, feel your heart space still expanded. body in harmony, mind calm, peaceful, settled with heart, blessed with all that it wants to know, with all the wisdom. Empower yourself truly with truth. No need to ask confirmation outside, just your higher self is there to tell you. So slowly, gently bring both your palms and put it over your closed eyes for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take your time, open your eyes, welcome back. See the same place you were sitting before and after. Feel the chair, feel your room, feel yourself refreshed, rejuvenated. Thank you. Welcome back. You may want to sip some water. And feel the love in every sip. Thank you, Shalishi, for beautiful chapter explanation. And it was very quick today. I thought it's a long lesson. It will take some time. But I think we were just flowing with the chapter.
Yeah, this chapter really didn't require very deep explanation.
Yeah.
Most of it was written
Shilamji
very
had
clearly.
a good observation last week only that there is not double meaning or complex thing. Last week itself was simpler and this week too.
Exactly.
Just explained some of the methods people use in channeling. But writing is the utmost. That is what our experience is, because with other things, there are many precisions and so many things to learn. But this we have, naturally, we have this talent.
Yeah. I mean, if you any of you have experience with any of those tools described, or maybe something else, you can always share that. I have personally tried out auto writing, of course, but I have also tried out pendulum, and I have also tried out the L rods that I talked about. They are so really good. The L rod thing is very good. And this one more thing. I have this little thing here. It's more like a what do you call? Can I'm not sure if you can see this. Yeah,
Oh, okay. It's like a
there's this.
pendulum.
It's more like a pendulum, but it's magnetically driven, right? So it has this surface here. On this surface there is yes, no, maybe all kinds of things there, and the pendulum then it moves and comes and stays at one of the answers, like that. There is a magnet down below in this. My son got this from somewhere, and he gifted it to me. He said, "Okay, you do all these things, so try it out." Um, I didn't find this to be effective from the point of view of what we want to do, connecting with, because in this device, for example, I am not doing anything, right? I am only bringing my thinking and clearing my aura and all that, but the answer is not driven through my subconscious. My subconscious requires my muscular memory, my muscles, my physical um, manipulation, like you do in a pendulum or L rods. They are all manipulated by my own muscles, my own little movements. They are actually, but where the movement comes from is actually my subconscious. That's how subconscious is able to communicate, right? So in this method, I am kind of hands free sitting there. Of course, I mean, to me, this did not work, but for some people, it may actually work.
It might be like one you want to unify with, but I don't know. It has a magnetic thing, so how it works? This is like programmed.
Sort of. Yeah, there are many a things cannot really be explained. Think about it, right? That Elrod thing, people used to call it that witches do this. Why? Because nobody understood how it happens. So they attribute it to witches or spirits. They would call it spirits, right? Because that's the unknown. We can't really see things. We see the end result, yes. Yeah, with the L rod, yes, you were able to find the source of water deep underground. Yes, that's a truth. But how it happened, nobody can explain. So that explanation is what we have to understand where it comes from. This is the explanation we now know from this book, and some people have explained my study on the pendulum, for example. Through that also, I established one thing very clearly, that it comes from the subconscious for sure, right? And subconscious knows better than my conscious. These two things I established using the pendulum for my own knowing sake, right? My conscious will say a yes and my pendulum will say no, and the no is the right answer. Later on, I find out. Okay, so pendulum was the right one and not my conscious. I have been able to do those things, establish that for myself. But then with pendulum, I had to work for almost a year till I started getting consistent responses from it. That's the training part of it, right? We have to train our muscles so much that our conscious is no more engaged with it. That is the purpose of the practice. And the moment your conscious is removed from in between, you become the channel. That's how knowledge will flow.
So, and if you are interested in such things like pendulum and tarot cards or other things, the chapter mentions, you just need to take permission and ask your higher self, is it in my highest and wisest interest to go for those medium, right? Somebody has just curiosity to explore. So you can just find that and explore.
Yeah. I think between 2024 and 2025 sessions, in between I did one session on pendulum itself. So there's a recording available in the channel. I will repost the link. If you are interested in the pendulum thing, I have done a very detailed explanation of the whole thing, the whole process, how it works and what I found, what I figured. It's a very popular thing people use for diagnosing diseases also. There is an unlimited use of pendulums. Like so much people are using that pendulum.
Sanjay is
Ultimately,
asking
to access the
Elrod is
knowledge.
dowsing, but actually pendulum thing is dowsing.
Yeah, it's called dowsing. Yes.
Not Elrod, right? Elrod is simple.
Elrod is also considered dowsing.
Okay.
Dowsing is actually in English we have this word called douse the fire. It is used for dousing the fire, so to kind of eliminating the fire, right? And that's where this word is borrowed, but the spelling is different now. But I studied this thing to check as to what is the meaning, where does it come from. In dictionary, there's no proper word called dowsing. But this comes from the dousing the fire, and your questions are the fire, and through this mechanism, you douse that fire of your questions. That's how it became. It's called dowsing. So any mechanism which is answering your question is dowsing. So
And
that
the other
Elrod
methods
thing
yes.
is really good. I made my own Elrods by breaking open an aluminum hanger made with aluminum wire. That I broke it open and created Elrods. And I used it for some time, and I was able to find very accurate information using that. Of course, I didn't dig for the water. I was basically testing when I walk on the floor, When I cross a horizontal drawn line on the floor, the thing should actually give me a yes, you have crossed, right? When I am on stepping on that line drawn on the floor, and it would actually, I would be closed, my eyes would be closed, and I would walk through it, and when this happened, I would open the eyes, and I'm actually standing on the line. That's how I always want to test things, right? So I tested it. It's not a very practical, because you can't keep carrying those L rods everywhere. Pendulum is easier to carry, so you can put it in the pocket and carry and use it when you want, if you become very accustomed to using the pendulum. Using the pendulum, I have actually some books on that. Using the pendulum, people have cleared the houses of negative influences. They use it to do that, right? And there are experts who do that. In the book, there's an example of someone living in Australia. They bought a new house and they had problems. Things would be moving in the house and stuff. So they consulted, this person is in UK. Sitting in UK, he used his pendulum to clear the whole thing there, and that actually worked for them. Their house didn't have those issues anymore. In the UK, this is a very popular thing, clearing the houses of energies, because that is a small piece of land with history of wars. So many wars, right? So many people have been killed in battlefield there, right? So they have plenty of, actually they talk about passageways of these stuck souls. They move in bulk through specific, like a stream. There's another thing, they use the water lines underground. Inside the Earth's surface, below the Earth's surface, there are water lines. Water flows in certain lines, and they are very specific. And those are called ley lines, Ley, ley lines. And these ley lines are actually carriers or the pathways of these spirits. So below your house in that land, there could be ley lines. And these ley lines shift with time also. Water finds a different path, right? And it can actually, so you can use your intention to move the ley lines also. Sometimes these ley lines are detrimental to the houses, like they bring all these influences and whatnot. So all I'm saying is, there are properly documented books on these kind of researches people have done, actually. So ultimately, all of it is connecting with the higher intelligence and utilizing the knowledge. That's how it is.
Shailaji, I just want to know, how do you use that L-shaped rods when you hold them?
How do I wish I had something here. Like it's just like an L, right? So L has one long leg and one short leg, right? Okay. So the short one you hold inside your hand like this, right? So it will be sitting like that, and the long one will be projecting out. So it will move like this, just like opening and closing of a gate. So when you are holding the normal state is like this. Whenever it has to say yes to you, it will close like that.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
Another thing I wanted to share was, much more before coming to this, in my obstetric career as a guy, many times the patients used to say, "Oh, we have used the Chinese method of this pendulum to know whether it's a boy or girl." It was very common,
Yes, yeah. And it is just, again, remember the fire of the question. The questions are like fire. They won't let you sit, And to douse the fire, people have found so many ways of trying to satisfy that fire of the question. It really makes you uncomfortable when you have those questions. It makes you uncomfortable, and like very common question is this, whether it's a boy or a girl. Arey, wait, it will come out and you will know.
I
No,
know.
no, no, no. I want to know now. What will you do? Nothing.
Exactly.
But still I want to know.
We tried everything, but
Yeah, that's how it is. But yeah, questions are like fires. Yes. Sandhya ji, yes, Lee lines, they are energy lines. They use the waterways, pathways of water flow below the earth's surface, and they can be at any depth. We may not be able to reach them also, and they change the paths. There are if you read about Lee lines, um, the
Pendulums can
major
also help.
routes, the majorly lines, they follow a specific path across the globe. They are global,
Yes,
right? Like the
they are global.
pyramids are on ley lines actually, right? And
Majority
then
historical,
yeah,
majority historical
yes,
monuments are on the ley line. The ancient historical monuments are on
ancient
the ley
ones,
lines.
exactly,
Yeah.
yeah.
And pendulums also can help you find the ley lines within your house as well as,
Yes,
yeah, just like Vastu Shastra. Yeah.
I can. There are so many ways of people have figured out methods. I can show you one this thing like you guys can see a chart like this. You create this kind of chart for pendulum. There's another type here. I
Yes,
mean,
partially seen, sometimes it goes off.
yeah, I mean I have lots of these charts, and when I was studying pendulum, practicing pendulum, I created my own charts. So these the two that you see here, they are standard ones, but then I created my own. Actually, there are apps on the internet which you can use to create your own charts for pendulum. That's how much interested people are. People use it for homeopathic treatment. All kinds of things people have figured out. To diagnose a problem, to find a homeopathic remedy. There, it's just up to your imagination where you can go. Because remember one thing, you are connecting with the all-knowing intelligence, right? That confidence, you have to have that. I have been able to figure out accurate ages of people using the pendulum. How old is this person? I don't know the person, and then I figured out using the pendulum, and you know how I would do, using just yes and no, how you get the number. So what I would do, I would say, well, okay, is this person between 60 and 70? Yes or no, right? That's how I narrow down. So if it says okay, yes, if it's yes, okay, is it between 65 and 60? Like that, you narrow down. Then you say, okay, is it 63, right? And if it says yes, then that's the number, right? That's how you would narrow down questions through questions. Even using yes and no, you can get specific answers. Yeah, I did that. So these are all very fun, interesting things. If you have the time, you can really do it. At one point, I had nothing else to do, so I just sat and learned all these things and practiced them. And pendulum practice has been my best in the sense, accuracy wise, the results are perfect, absolutely. Actually, I can sit using my. I did this experiment with Preeti once. I said, you think about yes or no in your mind. Don't tell me. I will tell you what you thought. And my pendulum gave me accurate answer to that. Yeah. So this is how powerful these things are.
So if you start a business, you can do very well, Shailaji.
Oh,
I was never interested, Shilamji. He told me last year I would do, but then I get bored. So it's not for me. I can just, and you might have heard now today, I was realizing that whenever I used to guide meditation, usually I speak also, I channel. So I cannot go back and remember what I said. So
So
it's like just one way flowing.
curious. to know about the future, and they want any method they don't mind approaching. And if they find somebody is very accurate, you become automatically popular. That's why I just joked.
Yeah. Do you know that one of our ex-students is doing that?
Uh-huh. That's
On her Facebook, every day there is a video like that.
that's what I was saying.
Yeah, yeah. And the I'm not interested in business side of things. I just want to do service and feel that happiness, that happiness where I have no conditions.
Yeah.
When you start charging, there
Yeah.
is a condition there, right? And
Ex-
I am free from conditions of any kind. That's why I do what I do.
That's why you
To
get
me,
the
my freedom is more important.
that's why you get best of the results, because higher self knows your dedication.
Yeah,
And
I just do it for fun, for with a very I would say intention is very peaceful and for happiness and joy, right? That's
yeah.
the intention. Yeah.
Today you sent the invite right time for the wedding, because I'm going for a wedding. That's why I got ready and that. My husband asked, why are we saying to get ready so soon? I said, no,
The
I was told to get ready with the wedding anyway by the session. And then if my
the
session goes long, I don't have tension that I have to get ready. So I'm already ready, so you don't have to get upset. I'm delaying you.
perfect.
For us, wedding reception, everything happened with Hindi group. So we are like, okay, settle down. We were
The
very excited on Monday, actually.
the best part of that invitation, when we were creating, Preeti found this piece of music for that, and I was so thrilled with that music, I can't tell you.
It's
It's so
kind of
good.
annoying, irritating.
Uh, yeah. So yes, all of you masters who have dressed up for the wedding, you are all beautiful ladies. So yes, thank you for dressing up for the wedding. Thank you. I am the Purohit. I am getting the ceremony done.
In fact, I should thank you guys because I got ready early. Otherwise, always my husband finds faults. You're never ready. You're never ready. Today, I'm ever ready.
Today it's your turn to tell him
Yeah,
you
I
can
told him.
never be ready on time.
I was shocked. I was going to sleep for a while. So he said, why are you ready so soon? I said, because my classes are there and they've told me should come dressed. So anyway, if I have to come, he said, I don't have to leave my class halfway. So
So much fun. Yes. Thank you. Yeah. Rajni ji, you want to share something?
Atamandan Master,
Atman.
I just want to recite the lines I got.
Yes.
Love, love, love. I am love, expressing through this personality beyond the boundaries of limited self. I am selfless, pulsating in each and everything. I am life, flowing through you. You are nothing to judge me here. I am a creator, creator of life. You all are bees, I am hive, producing the honey of oneness, love and light. I am saliva, help you digest all the complexity with ease and hide. I regale through you. You are here to unite. You are here to unite. You are here to unite.
Beautiful. Very nice. All kinds of wisdom you will begin to see more and more. Yeah.
It's some affirmations for Rajni ji, right? So that's what I said. Initially, we get these kind of affirmations. Even if you start writing, then it may open up with some wisdom, right? If you want to, like, it takes you to the details of it. What does it mean when you say
Uh,
this, when you say that?
actually, after this. this chapter's wisdom, I got the knowledge that after my husband's when he merged in Brahm, and I start writing the poems, and I was so surprised that I never write any poem, and at midnight I wake up and I start writing, and sometimes I feel that a voice was asking me, um, write, write, and I write many poems. And my daughter was surprised that, Mama, you are writing in Punjabi. How you can write? And because my husband was used to say me, Rasmi, you speak Punjabi very well. Why you do not speak Punjabi? You prefer to speak in Hindi and Punjabi look graceful when each and every word you speak. I feel graceful, and each and every now when I recall all those lines, those words, and I got surprised that even in my meditation that okay, now I got that how I write even today. uh, this poem means I am saliva, help you digest all the complexity with ease and hide.
Yes.
I was about to say that, Rajniji, that you have been already doing it. So nothing new
Ah,
for you.
yes.
Yeah,
For you,
from
this may
two
not
and
be
half
new.
years.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
many
from
people do
last
it
two
even
and
before like since teenage people start writing, and then they do not know when their subconscious start flowing. Like they start just journaling
yeah,
things, and then automatically it connects to our subconscious.
And when your writing ability starts to develop more and more, what you will notice is that you will be mentally very light. You will start feeling the lightness of your head because you are actually dumping your thoughts through writing. So your
I
thoughts are being
realized
dumped
that.
and you are
Yeah,
emptying this space.
yeah,
I
it's very
never, I
important.
never, I never thought to write any book, but now I recall that uh, approximate 2 years back, it gave me a title of a book that you are going to write this book. And the title, whenever I think about that title, it gave me goosebumps, the title of the book. And
Yeah.
mm,
Yeah, you can, don't force it, allow it. Just allow
I,
it to come, don't force it. I do this all
I,
the
I
time. Like,
stop, I stop myself
hmm,
because my family means my daughter, and sometimes they said that uh, mm, you are doing, you are writing these poems because you need attention. Maybe you need attention. You are alone, and that's why I stopped writing. And I was used to write means a lot. I really do not know, but I forced myself to stop to write. And today, in few of sessions, I write again, and uh,
writing is
it's a
expression.
wonderful.
Remember this thing.
Yeah.
Writing is expression.
Yes.
And you don't ever block your expression because that's who you are. Don't do that.
और मुझे
Doesn't
You
याद
matter
can
है
just
what
take
people
it
say.
as their love that they think for you, but just
yes,
do not
yes.
stop yourself by being yourself
Ah,
for any reason. Nobody what no matter who says.
और मुझे याद है 8/9/25 को अम, जब वो फुल मून का था, उस दिन वो एक पोइम है ना, आज मेरी खिड़की से आज मेरी खिड़की से तुमने धीरे से मुझे बुलाया, आओ हो जाएं एक, हम हैं प्रेम, ये मुझे समझाया। तुम्हारी पुकार सुन, तुम्हारी पुकार सुन, खिड़की के पर्दे को जब मैंने उठाया, हम हो गए एक, प्रेम हम में समाया। तुम्हारी शीतलता उतर रही है मुझ में, ये अलौकिक रिश्ता आज हमने निभाया। तुम आज चांद, पेड़ और पड़ोसी की छत से होते हुए मुझ तक आए। समय है एकीकृत होने का, ये एकीकृत क्षेत्र, ये एकीकृत क्षेत्र हम में है समाये। प्रेम की ये अविरल धारा जो बह रही है इस क्षण में, ईश्वर आज सदृश रूप में जी रहा है सबको। इस नाचीज को बड़े प्रेम से समझाए, बड़े प्रेम से समझाए, बड़े प्रेम से समझाए।
Good. Thank you.
थैंक यू।
Thank you. Thank you.
एंड इट्स, अब मैं पढ़ती हूँ लाइनों को, तो नाउ आई गॉट द थैंक यू शैलेश जी, प्रीति जी।
Yeah, that is the purpose of writing, that you can actually connect with it at some point later.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing, Rajni ji. Thank you. Yeah. Shaila ji? Yeah.
Thank you, Shailesh ji and Preeti ji, for giving me an opportunity to read today. Thank you, and a beautiful meditation. So I have a question. You were saying pendulum, right? So I was introduced to this pendulum before this course. So I started using that pendulum, and it was giving me an answer. So I was able to connect to it. So now, after this course, so now I was supposed to check with my higher self. So I was able to check, and I got an answer yes. So now my question is, so I can use both of the channelizing, or should I have to stick to one?
So as far as pendulum is concerned, initially you got the right answer. That is just a chance. It's a possibility. It's just right. You cannot rely on those answers forever. You have to really, really practice. Pendulum takes a lot of practice because you are training your muscular system.
Okay.
Unless you have practiced long enough with pendulum, 1 or 2 trials, if you get a good answer, it's like a beginner's luck.
Yeah, like it was maybe 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you if listen to the video that we Preeti has posted the link there. Listen to that video. I have explained everything in very great detail. There is a document associated with that video. I had shared a document or PDF also, where I have written down that whole document based on what I have learned so far using the pendulum. So a lot of knowledge is there in that piece of paper. If you want, we can share that as well in the group. Just know that you can't start trusting the pendulum till such time that you have practiced enough with it.
Because
Okay?
right now I feel like I'm comfortable with this channelizing with my higher self.
And
So
that's, if you are comfortable, you don't really need to find any other method. What this book is doing is it's opening up your awareness that there is more to it. There is more possibility. Understand, now that you know the mechanism, how this works, you will be able to adapt something else much more intelligently now. That's about all. Not just assuming and stuff like that. Now you can intelligently associate with some of these techniques, right? Now that you know
yes,
how this works. So,
yes, and I also understood the cleaning the aura and all of that. So that was usefully
yes,
work for me.
yes. So just use those things. Those basic practices are a must. After that, it's your wish. If you don't feel like, just don't do it. Auto writing, of course, is something that you should even give a serious try to it. This is at least this week. Try it, because that will give you a very important tool for recording your thoughts.
Yes, auto writing also it came couple of times. Me to write through people and but the thing is alasya, right? So I was lazy to write. So
Hmm.
so now like okay, I have to make a practice, consistent effort to do it for a while and then it will become a
Let me
habit.
explain to you what auto writing will do. Your speaking, what you say, comes from what you know, right?
Yes.
It's just what you know is what will come out of your mouth. And speaking is again a trained function. You have trained the muscles of your mouth to produce certain sounds. That is again an involuntary function. That means it comes from your subconscious. It is trained, so it is able to speak out whatever it knows, right? Writing is also a trained function. You have trained your hand to do certain things and produce a graphic on the piece of paper. Now, there's a difference between the two things. Subtle difference in your head. So when you speak, your mind registers it as a temporary thing that I may forget it, so it wants to retain. That information it won't release. It will say, but hold on to it. When you write, the mind gets a signal, now it's written down, it's safe. It won't go away. That means it will release it from the head.
Like freely it
That
will
is the
flow. So that I experienced, like when you're writing, all the thoughts will just flow one by one, one by one, one
yes.
by one.
But
Yeah.
I am talking about the difference. In speaking, mind doesn't release it. In writing, the mind releases it. That means it's not hanging on to it anymore. You are unloading. In speaking, you don't unload.
Yeah, yeah,
That's a
I got
very big difference. It makes a lot of difference in your state. So writing is a very powerful thing. If you are hesitant to try, at least try it. Give it a serious try in the sense that
So
this week at least
she's
practice it.
comfortable. She's saying that she's liking better. The writing process is much better for her.
Yes.
yeah,
So
and
that's very nice, Shailaji. Just you need to make yourself available. Maybe pick a such time like 5 a.m. in the morning. You sit every morning and then unify with God and start writing. Sit with paper and pen. Make a separate notebook for your journaling and then allow it unfold. And you learned the method. Read the chapter again and again. And mm, what information we will be receiving? Like we are asking for truth, right? So it
yes.
starts from the quest that we want to know about, we want to learn. Somehow it gets triggered. We reach up to that point. So if we have a question all the time in our head, we'll see our writing starts flowing in that direction. So let it unfold and like I said, that don't go back and read and reread and correct and fix. Just flow with it, and it will help you become a stable channel. Then you will see um, it will have a different quality altogether. Initially it comes like I heal myself or some affirmations like that, but then slowly gradually it turns into some quality information, some knowledge.
Also, remember, we are not writing a book. We are just,
Actually,
even if it is one sentence, just write it. That's it. Okay, today I got only one sentence, fine. But one day you may get 5 pages, that's okay too. Right? Don't make assumptions about writing. Right? If you feel that, oh my God, who's going to sit there for 1 hour, and then that will create laziness. But if you know that, it's almost like going to the washroom, right?
yeah, yeah.
You just vacate things and that's it, done, finished, right? That's how.
Yeah,
Just
I
do
mean,
it that way.
when I'm
So how
in my
much
quiet,
soever it is coming out, whatever is coming out, it is your private personal expression. That's it. Nobody's going to read it. It's up to you, right? If you want to share it, you share it. If you don't want to, that's yours, right? So you can write garbage also. if you get a thought of garbage, just put it there. Dump it so that it doesn't stick around here.
At
Yeah,
times
thank-
also in the we are working in the kitchen or cleaning or doing some chores, you will see that a lot of thoughts are coming. It means higher self wants to communicate something. Then, it's better always to leave that work and go and write. It
Actually, that time something
saves
has
so
come.
much energy. Otherwise we feel like where I am, what I am thinking, and nothing is concluded, right? So better write.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. And I have one more question. Akashic records, is it the same as a channeling? I know it's not mentioned in the book.
Akashic records is information stored and it is with you all the time. It's a think of the name record, and Akashic is something which is out there but you can't see it,
But
right?
reading, so you have to connect with the higher self, all that is there. So is that
Yeah. So when you connect with your higher self and you receive communication from higher self, that is again kind of reading the Akashic record only. You are accessing that all-knowing intelligence, that information. You are asking a question, you're receiving the answer.
Yes,
When
yeah.
when you are reading Akashic records, again you start with a question only,
Yes, that's true.
right? So you start with a question and you receive an answer. It's no different.
So this is also a channeling.
Yeah. Channeling again is the process, right? So for you to be able to read Akashic record, you need to know channeling. That's the step. First of all, you have to, and which we are doing today, clearing that channel, right? By aligning the heart and the head. We are clearing the channel so that we are ready to now allow the information to flow in a natural way without resistance. Mind is the biggest obstacle. Remember that. That obstacle you are now, what you are doing? You are wedding that obstacle. So that mind is wedded to the heart, and heart will always be telling the mind right or not right, right? So heart is the boss, right?
Yeah.
That's why in the wedding card that we have sent, the heart has been given the status of the wife. She is always the boss. She directs everything that is happening there. So that's why the heart is the boss. In the name of wedding, you heart feels, yes, I am married, I am equal, I am not less, right? And then wife quietly keeps on making that guy, okay, now you do this, okay, next do this, next do this, right? That's what is quietly doing. Lovingly, she is making that heart is lovingly making the mind function in the way it is supposed to work, right?
Oh,
And that mind before wedding was like a young man, not listening to anybody, doing whatever he feels like, right? Now after the wedding he listens,
yeah,
right?
I got it.
Yeah. So that's what
Yeah.
we are doing. Once they align, there is no obstacle, the communication channel is open. That's what allows the knowledge to flow.
Okay, so because I have also learned this Akashic records, of course, before this course. So now I have to ask my higher self, take the permission to see if it is a wise for me to use it or not, yes or no, right? So before, if I have
It's
to,
basically the same. Akashic record is basically the same thing.
it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you
Yeah.
for answering
But
all the questions.
I have gone through all these steps. I have learned channeling. I have learned reading Akashic records. I have gone through all these steps. And that's why this course feels so easy for me, because all those skills are already there. I have been using them earlier.
Yeah, even I was also related to it. I mean, because I have learned all of those. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. Good. Yes, Gracie.
Good morning, everyone. And thank you so much, Preeti ji and Shailesh ji, for another wonderful session.
Thank you.
And, when I was reading that chapter, I really love like the way they say that mind thinks that the heart is just a soft marshmallow, right?
Yeah.
But the heart knows, and heart is so humble and wise that the heart knows that there's no point in arguing with mind,
Mm.
because the heart knows at the end, heart is the one who's going to win. But
Yes.
but the heart still doesn't want to argue or anything.
Mm.
That was so beautiful when I read that and when I was listening the explanation.
Mm.
So that's I wanted to share. And also, about the writing, I remember when I used to like in our previous chapters, sometimes something would come to my mind. I would simply start writing, and I'm writing one page, two page, and then suddenly I would stop, as if
Mm.
some kind of break
Yeah.
is there now. There's nothing else to write. So that way I felt like it was something else. I think not me, or maybe myself, or me only. So that's what I felt like today, when we were explaining this one, that it's automatically, it just keeps going and then it stops. You cannot
Yes.
even think after that, like if there's anything else left.
Yes.
And I remember, like, before marriage, I used to write like my journal every day, every night, like before I sleep. So that was again like whatever I want to write, I would just write and then I stop.
Mm.
And in when I was in college back home, so sometimes we used to do that, when you do that with the coin. Okay, so your grandma is coming, and this is coming. So we used to do that too. So that was again a channeling, right?
Ah.
So and the way you explained right now, like the Akashic records is again a form of channeling, but these are all channels, but ultimately the information is coming from only one source, right? Even if
Yes.
we do, okay,
Information
no
is
matter what.
actually not even coming. You are connecting to
Yeah,
it. That's it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Actually, we are connecting to ourselves only. Yeah,
Our own our own wisdom. You connect
yeah.
to your own wisdom essentially. And that wisdom is a Akashic record only. It is a record of what you have experienced in all your existences.
Yeah.
That's what it
And
is. It's just a collection of that knowledge, wisdom.
and the way you explained the L thing, the L, so we
Elrod.
can, okay, so we can do that. We can hold it, and this one is there. So yes is when it comes inside, or we can decide what yes would be. Is that right?
It's in this case, no. In this case, that's it will remain like this, and when it's a yes, it will do like that. So it usually gives only a yes answer. Otherwise, it won't do anything.
Okay,
Yeah, that's what Elrod does.
okay. And Preeti ji, like the way you were just explaining, like you wake up in the morning and then you connect with your heart, and then you say, so at that time, do you ask? We can ask some question, and then whenever it comes, then we can start writing. We can do that too, right?
So first start with, is there any message for me, right? So like in chapter number 9, there's a summary where it says how to go in your quiet period practice. So that's where this thing starts. This chapter particularly talks about the truth. So you can ask about the truth. Anything I want to know. Or put questions and then write answers. Whatever
Okay.
thought you might get, it will be you only, because ultimately the union has happened and you are your higher self. Right? So in that state of expanded, like you feel that heart is expanded, and whatever comes, that then it's not from your mind. Just allow it.
I will
Initially
definitely.
there might be something, you might not trust, and but just clear that, keep writing, and then one day when it clicks, you would start trusting it.
Yeah, sometimes I feel that I'm scared to ask, because I'm scared to ask because I think that what if I get a different answer that I want to get? That scares me. I know that now I realize maybe that's why I don't do that.
That's
So
good,
how
right?
do I?
You would move on. You will not stick to what you know. You would further expand. You will challenge yourself. That is like shedding your ego. It will help you becoming, nothing, and you have everything, and everything is
Yeah.
yours.
Read chapter 11. There he has explained about this yes and no thing. That's where he has
Yes, I
explained
I
this thing.
remember I remember all that.
Whenever there is a no, question it. and that will give you deeper understanding. The no is
Okay.
always a very good
Yeah.
answer to investigate further why, right? That's how it is. And I'm sharing with you what I did when I started, first time when I started learning to auto write. I also used to wake up with an alarm at 4 o'clock in the morning when everybody else is sleeping. I would just step down, come to my desk and start writing. So what I used to do was, I had this problem of what do I ask? In the morning, in your half sleep state, you won't have the question. So then I decided I will write down all my questions in a list. Okay. And every morning I'll just pick one from that list.
Yeah, it's a very good idea.
Yeah. So I had a list of questions. I still have that notebook here. I had a list of questions. And then I used to pick up one in the morning and then start writing.
Yeah, I will
That
do
kind
that.
of engages the mind in the morning. Remember, if in the morning when you are in that half sleep state, what happens is your conscious mind is still not active. So that channel is still clear. You are connected, right? Then that's why the flow comes very well.
Now I feel like writing. It's coming to me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
and
me, it
also
was very difficult. Very difficult. I am a logical person. I didn't do
yeah.
all this till that time. So I was such a logical person. The conscious mind was constantly very active.
Yeah.
So I had so much problem with that.
Also,
Yeah,
the
and
chapter says the way the writing, it explains about writing, right? It says that you might have some new information that you may not have heard before. So that might be the thing. So we have to be open, and it is only possible when we are aligned with heart. Like mind says, okay, H is helium, not H. And he's not going and fixing this, right? That I should correct it. He's not doing it because it's my heart saying it. So I am living with that.
and it's good. Like sometimes the way you said, like, yes and no, because suppose if I'm asking, should I buy a lottery? And in my mind is that, okay, I should buy, yeah, I'm going to buy a lottery. And then I ask my higher self, and if I get the yes, I would right away say, okay, I got my answer. But if I get a no, which is different from what I was thinking, then I would question, no, why not? Why can't I do that? So that's very good. Like, if you get no, then ask further, like why
Knowing the
no?
no is more informative. That's what chapter
Yeah,
says.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Remember that no is telling you that your conscious mind is not giving you the right answer, right? That yes, that you are hanging on to, you are holding on to, is coming from your conscious mind. Okay. Now, when it is challenged and your heart is telling you, no, don't do that, it feels, I mean, like it's almost like there's a big box of ice cream in front of you and you want to hog the whole thing right now in one go. And your mom from behind is saying, no, don't do that, it's not good for you. Oh, no, 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 I want to do it, I want to do it. And you hog the whole thing, and after that, for the next 8 hours, you say, oh, I want to vomit, I want to vomit. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's why mom told you don't eat it all at the same time, right? That no was for that reason, but you don't listen. This is the difference I'm talking about. So with the pendulum, this is the first thing I realized, how pendulum corrects my conscious thinking. So from the pendulum, the answer is actually, how did I confirm? It is actually coming from subconsciousness, because then I waited for the result, right? And when the result came, I knew that exactly this is why it was coming. No, right? So listen to that pendulum video which we have posted. You will get a lot of information there.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes, Jayaji.
Yeah, during the reading, I realized whenever I have a singing lesson, my teacher says, close your eyes and listen with your heart. So you will go with the flow. Otherwise, when your eyes are open, your mind is thinking, how do I say this? How do I sing this? So that was like, I felt that. And then when we were young, we were always told if you are disturbed, you are not in your true nature. So close your eyes and talk to yourself and ask, why am the disturbance? What is the cause? Because when you clear the cause, the disturbance disappears. So it was like connecting to your higher self.
Yeah.
And then whenever I had exams, I felt that the best time to connect was in the morning at 4:35. Uh, that's when you're, just now you said, the conscious is half awake and the subconscious is very fresh. That's why whatever you digest goes in. And then so often we were told to notice how the body works in a flow. The mind absorbs what you are reading, and the hand is writing it through memory, and you are watching both happening.
Yes.
And whenever like I scored well in my exams, mom always said that God gave you the power to retain more in your memory. A lot of people, everyone studies hard, but those who can retain, so it's not you, it is the power of the retention of the memory that works at that time. So that I liked. And whenever you talk to a child, the child speaks from the heart, whether it's right or it's wrong. When you ask the child to explain something, they explain with so much intensity, with so much passion, whether it's right or wrong. Yeah, so that is how I think we can work, um,
Yes.
using the mind less and using the heart more.
Yes. Yeah.
And then I also noticed that my guru had Alzheimer's, so they kept forgetting things. But whoever went in front of them, they would say the right thing, like just bang on what the person needed to hear. Um, so they were speaking through their heart.
Correct.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
So anytime I had a doubt, also they said, imagine Guru is walking with you and let them guide you. So you just follow as a little kid, open your jholi, open your arms wide to accept whatever they are saying without any doubt. So that doubt comes when you use your mind, when you use your head. But just follow and you will see the change. So, like walking with Guru is walking with your higher self,
Yes. Correct.
or connecting with your heart, or
Yeah.
just unifying with existence and then
Ah,
working it out.
yeah. That is unified state. Being unified. That is what it means. Absolutely.
And
The
then they
resonance,
always said, sorry.
the resonance between heart and head is what
Hmm.
is unification. That's the unified state.
And then they always said, Kar athoi pair samadhi. So now I understand the meaning.
Mm.
So yeah, it's just nice to connect with, again, remember one thing from the past, and that aha moment is there. So yeah, feels wonderful.
Yes. When I was studying engineering in my final year, I remember I was unwell during final exams. I had malaria, and in fever I went and wrote the exam. Now I have not forgotten that till today. I was able to complete all the answers. I wrote so much that day. Uh, even I had to really tie the sheets because I had to keep on asking for more sheets, give me more sheets to write. And the duration of the exam was 3 hours. I finished it in 2.5 hours and left that place. I wrote so much, so much, so much. How, even to date, I wonder how could I write so much? That is electrical engineering, right? That is a lot of math there, so much concepts. But I wrote so fast and wrote a lot. This is what happens when you are in the flow. So when you are in the flow, there is no obstruction, nothing to prevent that thing. I was totally zoned in that subject, in that zone. Uh, uh, I got a straight A in all my subjects in that. I was getting it like that. Most of them were A's, but that final year, straight A's, everything. And because I was so zoned in each subject, when I went and sat for the exam, when I wrote, it was just flow. So I haven't forgotten that. So when you are in the flow, the knowledge flows through you. Try that. Initially, you will have that little bit of hiccups, but once you are able to do that, books will come out.
That is why they say whenever you are unhappy or you're feeling sad, the pet comes and sits next to you, because the
Yes,
pet is very clear. They sense the pain, or when you're excited, you can see the pet is jumping around, and yeah. So
they are part of your heart space. Remember that.
mm,
The pets are part of your heart space. They don't use logical mind to analyze anything. That's what the children are like, right? They don't hesitate in crying at whatever odd hours of the night or asking for anything they feel like, doing whatever they want to do. Why? Because they don't analyze. They haven't developed the logic yet, right? That's why they are like that. So that's a very clear understanding of what happens in the heart state. You are just like that, right? And in all the masters have always said this thing, that you got to be childlike to enter the kingdom of God. This is the meaning of becoming childlike, being in the heart. Shut down the logic, be in the heart, you become childlike automatically. We are doing that. We are shedding the inhibitions, shedding all those artificial personas we are wearing all the time. Once you are able to shed, you will come back and see yourself in true sense, knowing the self, and be like a child. Then you are automatically entered into the kingdom of God. Basically, you experience the attributes of God. That's the meaning of it. We are doing that.
and a lot of the times we were challenged to ask from within when you are like unhappy or looking for answers. Show me a sign, give me a sign. And so often I always got the sign either through a proverb written. Like once I was walking and I was like, God, I don't know if you exist. And right in front of me, there was somebody wearing a shirt and it was written, I see you. And it was like, ah, um, or so often if I'm sitting at home or I'm thinking about something and the child suddenly comes and says, Mama, I love you. And they give you a hug. It's like the answer came. All you have to do is go with the flow. Don't use your head and use your heart.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah.
Amazing.
Our human existence is an amazing thing. It's an amazing existence. The more you connect with it, the more amazed you feel at every little thing. Um, I I mean, like how beautifully things are synchronized and they function together, unimaginable. I mean, one experience I can share with you guys is that Preeti requested me to attend a workshop for I even forget the name of that. Preeti, what was that child thing?
Inner child
Inner
healing.
child, healing the inner child workshop, right? That's the workshop she asked me to attend, right? And I attended that workshop, and in that workshop we were healing our inner child, right? That the process was going on, and it was all here only, all here only. And I said, what are they talking? Okay, I will do whatever they are saying. Okay, you do the coloring, do that all kinds of things that you would do as a child we were doing, but nothing was shaking in the head. Then one day what happened, that I was just sitting, and I remembered a song from my childhood. And as a young boy, I was very fond of singing. I wasn't ever a very good singer or anything. I just loved singing though. I enjoyed singing. So some of you may not even relate to this song. This was a song from a movie called Upkar, Mere Desh Ki Dharti. That song. That was my favorite song in childhood, and I started singing that song. And then as I was singing that song, I felt like, okay, let me listen to it in YouTube. And I listened to that song in YouTube. It brought my childhood right there. I was feeling my childhood. And since YouTube, the algorithm, you listen to one song from that time, it will show you more songs from that time. And I listened to all those songs one by one, and I started singing with it. I was back in my childhood. This is how beautiful this whole machinery is. And then for 3 weeks, I continuously listened to those songs. So much healing happened inside. I was in my childhood releasing and releasing and releasing constantly. For 3 weeks, I did that. And the whole thing became clear. So something would click and allow you to release. This is the amazing part of this whole mechanism. I keep calling it mechanism because it works always, never fails.
So that day I was talking to mom and said that, as we do every chapter, something else opens up.
Yes.
So she was like, yeah, I like your iPhone. You talk about any topic and it keeps showing you that topic because that's what you spoke about. So now
Yes.
as you get into the flow, one by one thing works on you because it just catches on to that connection. Yeah.
Lots of things are there. Synchronicities are there. So many things are there which are messages to us. Preeti is my teacher in all these things. She keeps teaching me the latest things about this. Oh, if you see a sequence of numbers, this is what it means. I never paid attention, and I kept laughing. She taught me, and I kept laughing. And nowadays, you know what happens? Especially for this session. Whenever there is a unified session, I always in the morning see 555. Always. In the morning, I have a clock right here. I never look at that clock, but at 555, my eye will go and look at that. 5:55. For me in the morning, I start the session here, right? And 5:55 is 5 minutes before the session starts. And my eye will always go to the clock when it is 5:55. It's a synchronicity, really. And then of course I read about 5:55, what it means, etc. It's all related to our spiritual development, right? And before this session, this is what happens to me. So there are lots of ways in which we receive the guidance from higher self, that you are on the right track, keep doing what you are doing, this is how you are growing. That's what 555 told me. To me, that's what the message was, right? Just keep doing what you're doing. You are on the right track. You are just doing fine. So, yeah.
So that's the power of numbers I asked my higher self one day, I was like, I don't know what you say. I can know everything about, how can I learn about numbers? Then it started telling me. All of a sudden, I started getting what 1 means, 2 means, 3 means, 4, 5. And they said that when you see numbers coming together, it's like they're expressing love, they are attracting, and then they're showing their power. So these are not just random. And then I realized, yes, whenever I'm trying to see those numbers, I can't see. So it is only happening messages from universe or the angels, whatever you say. At times we need it, right? This head and heart marriage is not so easy.
Think about where did this knowledge come from? The knowledge of numbers. Say 555, what does this really mean? You go on the internet, check for it, you will get all kinds of answers there. And most of those answers are copied from each other. But think about it. How would it have originally come about? Channeling the higher self. That's how this
And
kind
I
of
was
thing.
getting my own meaning. But then I was on the street walking, and then I thought, okay, it's valid. It seems like it's something that is right, And this 555 number is very powerful. At times, you will see like big sequence of 555 in the phone, like the boards and the advertisement. There's some number. You see a lot of numbers. Then it's a real message for you. Something great is happening on the other end. You can't see, even you won't realize. We see the same person in the mirror, but we do not realize. Just today, I was understanding this awareness. So I always used to think nobody told me how to be in my heart space. Then I realized that only my awareness was not there, because as a child I always knew how to be in my heart space. I didn't know any other way, but what I lost was my awareness. I forgot, and then every day there is a change, and I remember those days when I was light. So it's like really, bringing. You can only, with awareness, you can just see that things are happening, things are changing, and you are more peaceful and at home.
Yeah. Beautiful,
Also,
beautiful
when
sharings. Yeah.
Also, when we had, you have a wedding or you have a big occasion coming up or you have something, we were always told don't put it in your head, right? Keep a pen and paper by your bedside. Anything you remember, just write it down. It's like releasing what's there. So you're not carrying the burden, and it happens automatically because it reminds you that this needs to get done. And then just let go and go to sleep.
Yeah.
So whenever I mean, we had to buy a house within 2 weeks, which is not very easy to buy. And my mom had gone to see 3 houses that she narrowed it down to, and she was like, "This is beautiful." And so I told her, "Then you were not worried?" She was like, "No." I said, "God, now I'm giving it to you. You decide for me, and I'll get up in the morning and we'll get it done." When she got up in the morning and there were 2, 3 other family members, they said next to one of them is the electric poles. That's dangerous for you. The other one has garbage dump next to it. So this third one is the best for you. She said, okay. And within a week, she got everything done and she sorted it out. And I thought, how can these things happen? I mean, so easily. I mean, don't you have to use your brain? She's like, yeah, you use. As much as you want, you should use your brain. I just go with the flow. Another time, I mean, there was a lot of difficulty in the house. There was hardly any money left, and it was almost at the end of the month, but there were still few days left. And she was sitting with me, and she was like, "Oh my God, how am I going to manage? You got to do something." And the bell rings, and somebody brought a check. And she's like, "See, before I thought about it, God arranged it." I was like, "How is it possible? How can He arrange before you put the question forward?" But I guess it's the connection. Uh, so many times I saw that, how is it possible? They said, because you still exist, that's why you are not connected. When you disappear, then there is only connection.
Yes, yes, yes. You guys are all reaching there. Now you are all up there reaching. Excellent. I'm so happy to hear what you are sharing. Just now, as Preeti was talking, I got this thing in here that Anna wants to say something. Anna wants to say something. And as soon as I look at the chat, there is a message right there from Anna that I see 555, right? This is how the whole flow of thoughts is connected.
Anna is looking beautiful today with Bindi.
Ah,
And you too, Jayaji. I know
yes.
Grace ji is busy, and I think Prati also messaged me that I may not be able to find time for part 3. But I will go through it on YouTube.
Yes, yes.
Thanks for joining.
It's all good. All of you are making very good progress and just keep doing what you're doing.
I'm really happy, like, very few people, and that's what is expected. We are completing this course actually. In just 2 weeks, we'll be done.
Yeah.
So it's a big milestone. Now Sheelamji is ready. Yes.
From January, we have done this.
Wow,
Yes.
pretty. Thank you. Thank you for opening your camera.
Yeah. It's really practice that makes us, and it doesn't matter if you have seriously done it every day or not, but if you have consistently been attending, that itself makes a big difference. It's a
Big
shift.
difference.
It's just
Definitely. It
ultimately,
doesn't
remember,
matter how much
what
we
we
have
are doing
released, how
is we are
much.
training the mind to think differently.
Correct.
That's all we are doing, right? It's just training of the mind, and that's what we are achieving. So, yeah.
There's no way out. We have to take responsibility of our thoughts and use our free will in the way it is meant to be, actually.
Yeah. So as we are heading towards the culmination of this program, just letting you guys know that in the background, Preeti and I are working very hard. We spend lots of hours every day to create a web portal for you guys, so that all that we are doing in pieces, bits and pieces around, we will put all of them together, accessible through one spot for all of you. So you will have access to all things chapter wise, properly organized. You don't have to search around for playlists here and things like here and there, whatnot. We'll just bring it together for you. So Preeti is teaching me IT, and she's using her IT skills,
Oh,
and we are
God.
together
Shailesh is
doing.
manager and IT, everything. What not? Just ask and he will say, okay, yes, I know.
Thank you so much. There is no words to thank you both for all the selfless thinking of us all the time.
Thank you.
It brings joy. As Shailesh said, that I left all the conditioning and I'm living with happiness and joy. So that's what it is. Now
Very
I
good.
realize why I was in IT for this long.
So Sheelamji, enjoy your evening, enjoy the party, enjoy the marriage
I know
wedding
you
ceremony.
told to go for a wedding, so God sent the wedding today itself.
Yeah.
So
So
in that wedding, you just enjoy your celebration heart and head
yeah,
uniting.
and then
Yes.
I'll keep looking at the couple
Seeing
and get
love everywhere.
just
Beautiful
enjoy it.
couples.
That's what. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, masters. So
Thank
let's
you. Thank you,
continue
everyone.
the practice. We'll see you again tomorrow and
Yeah, yeah.
continue this week. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do your
Have a
own
wonderful day,
practice.
India. Have a wonderful day.